Welcome back. Today, we're heading deep into the rainforest for part 2 of our Belize adventure. We're checking into the breathtaking Gaia Riverlodge, an eco-luxury resort that's completely off-grid.
Now that's a pool.
Blended seamlessly with nature and perched atop the Five Sisters Waterfall, this resort promises a secluded rainforest retreat. But is it worth the journey to get here?
We're currently stuck on a little mountain road, and there's a bus that is blocking the road because it has slid into a ditch.
So get ready to come along as we explore this unique resort deep in the jungle. We'll spend several days adventuring through caves, exploring ancient ruins, and experiencing local food. Welcome to Travel at Random. We're Trevor and Ryan. This channel started out of a love of travel. We're here to share unbiased and self-funded trip reports, hotel and flight reviews, and travel advice. We hope we inspire your next getaway. We have dozens of videos, so for even more content, check out the playlist in the description and browse the channel. If you enjoy the video, please hit that like button and subscribe to keep up with our latest content. You can also check out our channel memberships here and on Patreon for even more content. Thank you for watching. Gaia Riverlodge is located in Belize near San Ignacio and the border with Guatemala. The resort is 75 miles from the Belize City Airport, about 2 hours by car. Our journey today begins at the airport. We just arrived from Atlanta, and if you haven't seen part 1 of this adventure, we've linked the playlist in the description. We were met at the Belize City International Airport right outside of customs by our driver. Our transportation to the resort was included in the package we booked. We'll have a complete breakdown of what all this costs at the end of the video. Our bags were loaded into the van, and our driver gave us cold, reusable bottles of water. These are souvenirs and ours to keep. He also offered us soda and cold beer. The driver let us know it would be a 2-hour drive with a quick pit stop midway for fuel and restrooms. With that, we were on our way. The ride to the resort is on well-paved roads almost the entire drive. The last few miles are on a dirt road. We arrived to a torrential downpour, so it really set the mood for going into the rainforest.
To show that this is an actual adventure, we're currently stuck on a little mountain road because
mud road at this point.
Yes, it has been downpouring since we, got about 30 minutes from the airport, and there's a bus that is blocking the road because it has slid into a ditch. So we're waiting, and they're going to see if our driver can make it past, but always an adventure.
The bus ended up stuck there for a few days waiting for a crane. We soon pulled up to the hotel and our first glimpse of Gaia. The first impressions are wow. The grounds are impeccably maintained. The property is beautiful and serene. Even in the rain, it's beautiful. But the view transforms once the sun comes out. We pulled up to the front of reception and our bags were taken straight to our room. We were welcomed into the main building with drinks featuring a Belizean rum. We had a few minutes to sit and enjoy the views while we finalized check-in details. This was a relaxing process and a sign of things to come. We'll come back to this space for a full tour in just a bit. This secluded jungle resort sits in the Mountain Pine Ridge Forest Reserve and has just 16 rooms. Perched above the Five Sisters Waterfall, this property is an escape from the outside world. You won't stumble upon this site. It's at the end of the dirt road, and the nearest town is about 45 minutes away. This hotel prides itself on its commitment to eco-luxury. The resort is powered by a mix of hydro and solar, and there are very few plastics in use. In 2025, Gaia Riverlodge was awarded 2 Michelin Keys, the only hotel in Belize to earn that distinction. This hotel is also part of the Small Luxury Hotels portfolio. The buildings are designed to blend into the jungle and are built out of sustainable, local materials. There's also an organic garden here that provides produce for the restaurant and their sister property, Matachica. We'll go for a tour a bit later. After enjoying our welcome cocktails and the view, we were escorted to our room. There are 5 different types of accommodation.
We've just checked into the Gaia Riverlodge and into our Waterfall View Cabana. Now, there weren't a lot of videos or pictures online about these rooms, so we weren't quite sure what to expect coming into it. It's a bit rustic, but I think we kind of knew that from the vibe of the resort. It is completely open, but you are definitely immersed in nature. We look right out over the amazing waterfall and have a beautiful deck. Unfortunately, it is raining today, so we won't get to enjoy that just yet.
Each room is named and keeping in theme with the resort. We were in the Stream Cabana, and this room features a comfortable king-size bed with very nice linens. The bed has mosquito netting which is drawn closed during turn down. There are easily accessible outlets by each side of the bed. The room is spacious and has a comfortable sofa and small table. A bottle of Prosecco was waiting for us when we arrived, along with a welcome card and special decorations. The housekeeping staff is talented at towel animals, and there was a different cotton creature greeting us each day. The hotel provides a reusable pitcher of filtered water that is refilled twice daily during housekeeping and evening turn-down service. The water in the bathroom is filtered on property, but out of an abundance of caution, the resort doesn't recommend you drink it. You can use it for brushing your teeth and showering. There is a small closet with robes, slippers, a safe, steamer, and bug spray. Another small cupboard is available for additional storage. The bathroom is a decent size and has a single vanity. There's plenty of counter space. The large walk-in shower has high-end Italian toiletries. These are nice and feel and smell luxurious. So for all of the features of the room, there are some common hotel amenities that are missing, and that's by design. Since this is the jungle, food in the room is discouraged. This means you need to eat in the main building. This even includes a lack of coffee and tea in the cabana. You won't find a phone, but we didn't find that to be an issue. The resort does use WhatsApp if you need to reach someone. There is no AC here, but due to the elevation, it cools down at night. We were skeptical, but it was very comfortable at night, with lows dipping into the low to mid 60s. There are windows on all sides of the room, and they're open to the breeze. All the windows and doors in the room have bug screens, so no worries there. And then many of the windows have these wooden shutters, so you can open them or you can close them for more privacy. This is a retreat. There is Wi-Fi available, but it's not really suited for streaming. There are no TVs, radios, or even a clock. Just you and nature. Honestly, we didn't miss any of those items. Who needs a TV when you have this view? Our cabana featured a large balcony suspended over the cliff looking out over the waterfall. There are 2 comfortable chairs, but the main feature here are the stunning views.
What are your initial impressions of this room?
Going into it, I knew it was going to be rustic, and it certainly is. It's nice, it's clean, it's spacious. I think it's well done. It is definitely immersing you in the environment.
It's been a long day, so once we were settled in, we headed off to dinner. There's one restaurant at Gaia named Five Sisters. While the food is great, the views are epic. This is good because unless you venture out quite a distance, this is your only option. Here's a look at our dinner the first night and a sign of things to come. We really enjoyed our first meal here. The items were well portioned, fresh, and had some nice local touches. That's a wrap on day 1. We woke to a misty scene over the valley below. One of the included amenities provided at Gaia is morning coffee service. The staff will deliver fresh hot coffee or tea each morning. You just request a specific time the night before.
Well, good morning on our first full day here. How did you sleep?
I slept great. The bed and the bedding were fantastic.
And it came with a free white noise generator.
Yes, we heard this all night long.
All rooms include a continental breakfast. We booked a full board package, which included all meals. Alcohol and beverages except coffee were extra. This resort is a great place to escape and relax, but there are a ton of activities available in the area as well. The hotel has an extensive excursion program led by their own guides. There's a bit of something for everyone.
And what do we have planned for today?
We booked 2 excursions with our hotel package. One is a canoe trip through the Barton cave, which is a ancient Mayan burial cave system with a river through it. And then we're also going zip lining, which we'll see how that goes. It's our first time.
Off we go.
Off we go.
We met our guide at 9:30 a.m. and headed out in one of the resort's 4x4s for the roughly 1-hour drive. The road is quite rough, so we wouldn't recommend driving yourself unless you have a rugged SUV capable of crossing a river.
The drive was a bit of an adventure, but we've made it.
It took about an hour. I'd say 3/4 of it was on a windy dirt road, but it kind of gets you in the mood for the adventure, which is
We're going canoeing in a cave.
a Mayan burial cave.
The Barton Creek Cave is a natural cave system and is over 5 miles long and is only accessible by canoe. The caves were used by the Mayans for rituals, and researchers have discovered at least 28 bodies interred underground. This is a surreal experience. The geological formations are beautiful. Our guide from the hotel shared the history, pointed out artifacts, and key details throughout the trip. The water is calm, and the only source of light is from our headlamps and our guide's flashlight. Bats flutter overhead as we floated slowly through the cave system.
So we just got out of the Barton Creek Cave tour. How did you enjoy that excursion?
I thought that was great. It was cool to learn the history, and the experience and our guide were fantastic.
Yes, the guide from the resort was fantastic. He had a lot of information, pointed out a lot of interesting sites in there. It was very quiet, and the iridescent, sparkly rocks were very cool. It was a very neat experience.
Yeah, it was not super busy. Everyone that goes into the cave must have a guide with them, so they
And a
have
wrist-
yes,
and a
and a
wristband.
wristband. So we saw maybe half a dozen other canoes the entire time we were in there. You go about 1 kilometer in, and then you turn around and you canoe back out.
Yes, and it is pretty much only accessible by 4-wheel drive, so don't try and come here by yourself.
No, this is not a bring your rental car. You probably will lose your deposit.
Yes.
Following the excursion into the cave, our guide set up a picnic lunch, which was prepared by the resort. This included our choice of sandwiches, fresh-made pico de gallo and chips, and sweet treats. There are vegetarian options available as well. Soda, beer, and Prosecco are also included. We skipped the Prosecco this afternoon. After lunch, it was back on the Toyota Land Cruiser to head to our next adventure. This afternoon, we headed up into the hills to zipline in the jungle. The zipline course is close by, about a 30-minute drive from Barton Creek. The course has 7 ziplines with some jungle hiking in between. You'll want to wear good hiking shoes. The first run is 500 feet, but it's designed to be slow so you can get the hang of it. This was our first time ziplining, and this offered a cool perspective of the jungle. We then started off on a 10-minute hike through the jungle, and our guides were great to point out local trees and even offered us the opportunity to try some termites.
If you are lost in the jungle, these will help you a lot. Protein for 1 day, you break it, place your hands there, a handful will give you protein for 1 day.
We passed on that delicacy, but we did enjoy the ziplining. There are a series of hanging bridges between the last two runs, so you get a variety of experiences here. The grand finale is a jungle lift. This platform raises up high into the treetops, and the zipline returns you back to the starting point. The sun was out for this final ride.
We're back at our cabana. That is a wrap on day 2's activities. What did you think?
The Barton cave, I didn't know what to expect going into it, but that was a really fantastic excursion. The caves are certainly worth doing if you were in this region of Belize. I was maybe like, it sounded fun, but they are stunning. It is very cool. It is very tranquil. It's an experience you absolutely would have to do if you're here.
Ziplining?
Ziplining, so that was the first time we've done ziplining. If you're gonna zipline, the jungle's a great place to do it. The sun came out, it was very nice.
It's a good way to see the jungle. If you're afraid of heights, I understand that. The guides were very good. It was a fun activity, I enjoyed it. There's only one thing left to do now, and that is get cleaned up and go to dinner, because I need a shower.
Yes. Good morning and welcome to day 3.
Let's get started.
We had an early departure today at 8 a.m. and our guide met us at the front desk. The hotel excursions can include other guests, and today we were joined by another couple. We loaded up into one of the 4x4s and headed out. The drive down to Caracol takes about an hour. This road is brand new and it used to take 2 to 3 hours over rough terrain.
Stop number 1 today, Caracol.
This ancient Mayan city has been partially unearthed, and you're able to climb at this point up one of the main altar buildings here and get a fantastic view of the surrounding area. Worth the 150 feet of climbing up steep steps.
Yes, wear comfortable shoes.
Caracol was an ancient Mayan city spread out over 77 square miles. Only a tiny fraction of the city has been excavated.
So I'm going to refrain from any historical details because undoubtedly I will get it wrong and we'll just add it in the voiceover.
We're not archaeologists.
The oldest signs of civilization date back to 1200 BC. The site was rediscovered in the 1930s, and the site is active today with archaeologists. There are several large areas to explore. The main temple, called Sky Palace, is the largest structure at over 143 feet tall. The South Acropolis is also an impressive sight. You were able to freely explore the sites here and climb to the top of the structures. But as the sites become more popular, our guide told us this is likely to change in the future. The site spans many acres, and you can easily spend half a day exploring.
So we've climbed another ruin, and if you listen very closely, you can hear the howler monkeys and some pretty loud birds.
We wrapped up our tour of Caracol and headed to our next stop for lunch. Lunch was the same as the day before, a choice sandwich, pico de gallo, chips, beer, soda, and Prosecco. We enjoyed today's lunch near our second stop.
Welcome to stop 2 of the day, the Rio on Pools, which are a series of waterfalls and pools. Some are shallow, some are a little bit deeper, where you're able to go swimming. And now that the sun has come out, it's kind of hot, and going for a dip sounds like a great idea.
This is larger than the Five Sisters waterfall at the hotel, and very picturesque. The sun came out for us, and this was a great spot to picnic, relax, and cool off on the way from Caracol. And with that, we headed back to Gaia and spent the rest of our day relaxing at our own Five Sisters waterfall.
So that's a wrap on the excursions and activities for day 3. What'd you think?
The first one was a bit of a unexpected win. The Mayan temple at Caracol was fascinating, very large complex. How did you enjoy that?
That was great. It was more than I was expecting it to be, and it was cool to be able to climb the ruins and kind of walk around and learn some of the history from our guide.
Absolutely. The Rio on pools were neat. The collection of pools in granite in the waterfalls and different levels of pools with shallow ones, deep ones. Very pretty, nice place. We had lunch there, and that was fantastic.
Yes, and the sun was out, so it was hot, so it was the perfect time to kind of dip your toes in the river. So that's a wrap on day 3. I think it's time for dinner.
Cocktails first.
Cocktails first. Welcome to day 4 here at Gaia Riverlodge. This morning we're gonna do something a little different. We're gonna go work for our breakfast.
The resort's resident dog, Coco, decided to lead us to the garden. You'll often find her joining guests around the property, sleeping outside of reception or grabbing a drink at the Coco Cabana.
So I should probably explain what we're doing. This is the resort's organic garden, and if you want, you're allowed to go forage for fresh vegetables and eggs for breakfast, and you bring it back to the restaurant and they will make you breakfast off of what you bring back from the garden. So that's what we're gonna do. So we have all of our ingredients for breakfast. I want to thank Raul, the gardener here, who showed us around and got us some eggs and showed us a few other things that we kind of missed. But we have some zucchini, we have some bell pepper, we have some hot peppers, and some eggplant and spinach and a few other things. Let's go have breakfast. Just in case you're wondering, the garden is near the entrance to the resort, so it's only a short walk. less than 5 minutes.
We brought the fresh ingredients to the restaurant. They made a vegetable hash for us and added it to the American breakfast made with the eggs from the chicken coop.
So how did you like our breakfast?
I thought the restaurant did a good job with the interesting assortment of items we selected.
Yes, they did. They were good sports about it. Maybe eating too many habaneros.
Yes, I told you not to get those spicy peppers.
So what's the plan for today?
We are going to go on a hike to the nearby Big Rock Waterfall, which is like a 75-foot high waterfall.
Off to Big Rock.
Off to Big Rock.
There are complimentary mountain bikes that you can take out, but we opted to hike the 1.5 miles each way. To be honest, it was so Coco, the resort dog, could escort us. The turn to Big Rock is about 1 mile down the road from the resort. There is a parking lot here, and this is likely where the tour bus from day 1 was coming from before it got stuck. The walk there is easy, up until the climb down to the river. There are stairs, but they are rustic. But once down, the 75-foot tall waterfall is spectacular and worth the hike. Coco also enjoyed herself, sunning, swimming, and posing.
So we made it to Big Rock. What do you think?
It was a nice hike, and the waterfall is very spectacular.
This is a spectacular waterfall, and we got here in the morning. We were told that if we got here early, we would probably have the place to ourselves. We saw one more group, but other than that, I mean, we have all of this to ourselves. It's fantastic.
Us and Coco.
Back at the resort, we headed down to the river. It's about 230 feet below the resort. There is a funicular to access the river, or you can take the stairs. The river area has beautiful natural swimming pools. The water was a refreshing temperature. The beach area has lounge chairs, umbrellas, and a palapa with hammocks. The resort will serve drinks and food down here, so we opted to have lunch by the water. You can order food and drinks at the front desk on your way down, or ask for a radio at the front desk. They will also provide you with a cooler and waters. We spent some time relaxing by the waterfall and enjoyed the place all to ourselves. For lunch, we ordered chicken and veggie tacos, and a rice salad bowl with more fresh garden veggies and topped with shrimp. This was all included as part of our full board package. The best part is the view. The waterfall is stunning. There is a spa here, and the treatments take place in one of the palapas between the streams. It is open air, and note that it's not very private if you're going au natural. After some downtime, we opted to go explore the nature trail on the property. This was a really cool hike, just under 2 miles, and went from the pine forest to the deep jungle. We ran into a group of howler monkeys, several colorful birds, and a ton of leafcutter ants. This was a surprisingly good activity.
So that's a wrap on day 4 here at the Gaia Riverlodge. What'd you think?
Well, today was a little bit of a relaxation day. We just took 2 little hikes that were accessible from property, and both were very different and very interesting. How did you enjoy?
It was nice to get a break from the car for a bit. I liked going to Big Rock, which was the waterfall we went to this morning, and Coco, the resort dog, followed us over there and did a little bit of swimming. So that was fun. Did you enjoy?
No, it was a great day. And we had lunch down at the little beach club in the river by our hotel. So.
Yeah, we were the only ones down there because most of the guests were at excursions during the day, so it was nice and quiet, and we enjoyed that. And then we did a nature hike, which you can do right here on the property, and that took us through the jungle. So that's day 4. We're gonna grab some dinner and call it a night.
Let's review the highs and lows of this resort. Service is outstanding, which makes sense since the resort recently earned 2 Michelin Keys. Staff will address you by name. Every staff member, including the groundskeepers, will say hello. At meals, the staff learn your preferences. Overall, the food is excellent, and the menu has a mix of options. It can get limiting if you're here for more than 4 or 5 days. The excursion guides were friendly and knowledgeable. They provided a wealth of history and information about the local culture and wildlife. Many have been with Gaia for many years, and you can feel their passion for sharing their country with visitors. Gaia is a beautiful property. The landscaping is immaculate, and the cabanas blend into the surroundings. There aren't many lows, just some things to be aware of. You must be able to walk some steps and inclines. There is a tram to the waterfall, but this resort is perched on a cliff and there are steps. There isn't much nightlife. There's a bar, but come expecting a quiet, laid-back vibe. The bar is fantastic, and a big shout out to Raheem, who made some excellent cocktails and who had a flair for mixology and conversation. At Gaia, you are immersed in nature. For some, this is a plus, but keep in mind the rooms are open air. No TV, no AC. But we found this wasn't an issue, and we enjoyed our cabana. While it can be warm during the day, it cools down at night. Many guests wore pants and long sleeves to dinner. If you easily get cold, pack some layers. A light jacket is always a good idea. So how much did all of this cost? Rooms here start around $300 a night. The room we booked runs about $475 a night, depending on the season. In our opinion, that's great value for the level of service and accommodation. As with all of our trips, this was entirely self-funded, and the resort did not know we would be filming prior to arrival. We ended up booking a package directly with the hotel group. They offer a few packages, but everything is customizable. We worked with them to make some adjustments to suit our interests and tweak the pricing. We started with the Belize Rainforest package. This included private car transfer from the Belize City International Airport to the Gaia Riverlodge, 4 nights in a waterfall view cabana, welcome drinks at each property, daily breakfast, lunch and dinner, keeping in mind alcohol and beverages were extra, excursions to the Barton Creek Cave with zipline on day 1, and to the Caracol Mayan ruins and Rio on pools on day 2, pick up at the San Pedro airstrip in Ambergris Key, 3 nights in the Seabreeze Beach Casita at Mata Chica, 2 massages at the Jade Spa, and return transportation to the San Pedro airstrip at the end of our trip. All in, for the 7 nights at both resorts, including taxes and service fees, this cost $8,579.
As we wrap up our stay here at the Gaia Riverlodge, what did you think?
I think it was a fantastic stay. The service was great. Food was great. The accommodations are great for what they are, but you should be prepared if you're going to stay here that, this is kind of like glamping in a treehouse. So don't expect a 5 diamond resort room. It is clean, it is spacious, it is nice, but it's a little more rustic. What do you think?
I agree. If you're expecting the 4 seasons, you're going to be disappointed. But if you come in knowing that it is going to be you in an eco environment, the service is 5-star all the way. They are going to take care of you. Everything is in good condition, but you don't have a TV. You don't have a radio in the room. There's not even a telephone. I know we talked about that earlier in the video, but you are here to relax. The place is magical. You just can't argue with the view. We're clinging to a cliffside overlooking a waterfall, which you can probably hear in our audio.
Yeah, and I would say my biggest concern was the fact that it doesn't have air conditioning. It's not closed up, but when we checked in, they said there's an extra blanket in the closet, and I was like, what? This morning I was like, give me the extra blanket, it's chilly.
It's fantastic, and it's basically you and nature, which
yes.
if you are into that,
if you are looking for an escape, a retreat, a place to go do some adventures, explore ruins or hikes, this is an excellent place to go, and I thought it was good value for the money. So the important question is, would you stay here again?
Absolutely. No hesitation, I would stay here again. How about you?
Me too, same thing.
We skipped dessert tonight and opted to sit by the campfire for a bit. It's our last morning at Gaia, so we did the greatest hits for breakfast, the corn pancakes and the bodega breakfast burrito. Our transfer time was noon, so we had a leisurely morning here before heading to the front desk to check out.
As we wrap up our stay here, we're off to another adventure here in Belize. Our next stop will be on the beach.
So we're going to Matachinka, which is the sister property to this hotel, and we have a bit of a surprise on how we're getting there.
We've made it to the airport. Do you think we need to check the app to see if the flight's on time?
Thanks for making it to the end of the video. Make sure to like and subscribe. Both of these really help out the channel. Join us next week as we continue the adventure on a private flight from a dirt runway in the jungle straight to the beach. Oh, and there's a boat. On to the next adventure.